Dear listener, hello. Well, it's a Tuesday and you'd think that all was quiet on the Western Front, but no, Kyle has released a statement. Natasha Lee is the media editor of Mediaweek. Tash, what did Kyle's statement say?
Hello. Who would have thought we'd be meeting up again so soon? Let's get straight into it. I'll read exactly from Kyle's statement. So it begins like this. I want to speak directly to my listeners, my colleagues, and the public about what has been happening. On 20 February, I had an argument with Jackie on air about something that had been bothering me for a while. I said things I wish I had said differently. That same evening, I sent Jackie a message telling her I was sorry for anything I said that didn't go down well, that I love her and care for her, and that I could have handled it better. I meant every word of that and still do. Jackie and I have worked together for over 25 years. She's one of the most important people in my life. The idea that our partnership could end like this is devastating to me. ARN told me that I am not allowed to contact Jackie. They have told me that I am not allowed to speak to my colleagues. I did what was asked, even though it made it impossible for me to do the one thing anyone in my position would want to do: pick up the phone and talk to the person I have been talking with continually for my entire career. The truth is that ARN terminated Jackie's contract on the same day it accused me of a breach. It suspended me from work. All of this happened while I was being told to sit quietly and say nothing. That is not a genuine process. I am not going to pretend that everything about this situation is simple. Jackie told me she was hurt, and I accept that. But we have had disagreements before, and we have always worked through them. This is what partners do. We never needed lawyers or ASX announcements to sort things out. I believe we could have sorted this out too if ARN had given us this chance. I have a contract with ARN that runs until 2034. I am committed to that contract. Despite what ARN says, I am not in breach of that contract. I want to be on air. I want to be with my audience. I want to do the job I have done my entire adult life. I am asking ARN to do the right thing, honor our agreement, and let me get back to doing what I do best: entertaining the people who have supported this show for more than 2 decades. To my listeners, thank you. I miss you. I'll be back.
Wow. Okay, so lots to talk about. Why do you think the decision to release that today, Tash?
I don't know actually about the timing so much. Perhaps because a lot of speculation is being carried around in the media, and there's a lot of stories that are circulating about sources saying this and sources saying that. So why not just put an end to it and have your say in it?
And what did you make of the statement itself? Was there anything in there that shocked you when you read it?
I thought it was incredibly, I thought it was quite emotional. I thought it was quite touching. I thought it was very vulnerable as well. The line where he says that Jackie and I have worked together for over 25 years. She is one of the most important people in my life. The idea that our partnership could end like this is devastating to me. Those are really heavy words. Those are very emotional, emotive words as well. The other thing, and that's the quote that I led with for my story on Media Week, is that I am not in breach of that contract. So this is Kyle really firing back at ARN and their claims. Actually, I'm going to go back to the question you asked me. And as I read that, I can kind of get an idea of possibly why today. And I don't think there's a specific timing. Perhaps the lawyers have just given the okay to go ahead with this, and they've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and said, yeah, no, you haven't breached it from their end, right? And obviously, I am not a lawyer by any means, but maybe that is why. Maybe that's why they've released it today, that everything is locked in on their end.
So as we speak, it's about 6 o'clock on Tuesday night, on the 10th of March. At the moment, we haven't heard back from ARN. We've heard from Jackie, we've heard from Kyle. I assume they'll be next with a statement, don't you think?
I would hope so. I did message Michael Stevenson, and let me check my phone when I sent the message. It's been, I wouldn't say a couple of days, maybe 1 or 2 days. I gave him a bit of time to, Sunday, I sent the message, Sunday, 5:54. And I just basically said, I'm reaching out on the off chance I might be able to chat with you about everything that's going on. Of course, I know it's a really tough time, so understand if not at the moment. And clearly not at the moment. So it will be interesting when they do eventually come to talk. Also, it is radio ratings next week. We are locked in, all the trade media journalists are locked in to talk to the CDs and to the CEOs. So even if we don't get a statement now, and if they try to bunker down, they're going to have to talk next week.
I would think we're not going to go 24 hours without someone in crisis comms advising ARN puts a statement out, even if the statement is a non-statement statement, which is like, we've got nothing to say, we'll let the process take its course, which is interesting because I think Kyle alleges in that statement that he doesn't believe ARN have given this due process, right?
Yeah, from what the statement says, or for what I'm inferring from it, they have taken something that Jackie has said or something that has happened, and then they've gone ahead to the ASX and made that statement. At the very end, he talks about, we could have had this situation resolved without lawyers or without ASX announcements to sort things out. So did they even consult him when she went to them? We don't know, but for me, it kind of looks as if this was taken out of their hands. Yeah, there's a lot of loaded words in here. There's a lot of emotion as well. What do you think? But when we talk about lawyers and making a very sort of legal message, what could ARN say? Like, how could they take this without putting their foot in it?
I think the challenge is there's a war on two fronts at the moment. There's the legal issue, of course, because it is a legal issue. There's companies involved, there's publicly traded companies, there's the performers who perform their services on a contract. So there is a legal argument. But I think the court of public opinion is what I've been really interested in following over the last week. We had sort of 4 days where nothing, and then Jackie felt compelled to say that the narrative wasn't correct, that she did not quit. And that she was interested in kind of working through this, but couldn't say too much. Now we go to Tuesday and Kyle said, well, hang on a minute, I haven't had a chance. So everyone's talking through media releases at the moment. We think no one's talking to each other, or they're at least talking through lawyers. So I think that the hard part is, like, if this were kids having a fight, you'd say, get in the room and sort it out, guys. But obviously there's a lot more at stake in terms of money and reputation. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised to see a statement from ARN in the next sort of 24, 48 hours, because I think they're the missing voice in this. They're running the process. They're the ones that are making the calls to terminate Jackie's contract and suspend Kyle. And they can say that Kyle's still got a certain amount of time to respond to that breach. He's responded to it. He says, I'm not in breach. He won't remedy a breach if he doesn't think he's breached the contract, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right there. The other thing that's telling is that Jackie's contract has been terminated, right? So she is no longer considered an employee of ARN. Kyle's hasn't. So even if he does come back, what kind of show would that be? It's not going to be the Kyle and Jackie O show, because she is not an employee of ARN.
Fascinating stuff. Well, every day brings a new twist and turn. If you want to follow the updated, jump on mediaweek.com.au. Natasha is first with the news on everything that happens throughout this Kyle and Jackie O saga. And I don't know, Tash, you and I are just a couple of media tarts, right? We love this sort of story.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Yeah, it's more than just a job. It's a hobby, isn't it?
It is, and one we actually enjoy too. So thanks, Tash. We'll have another episode out later in the week, no doubt.
See ya.
See ya.